This is the power of multiplication. God can multiply what you have. And you can help God multiply what you have by being in a constant state of gratitude, love, peace, and following your hunches, following intuition. That's your soul nudging you by divine design to where you are supposed to be going. So there's always plenty on man's pathway, but it can only be brought into manifestation through desire, through faith, and through the spoken word. Those are the three principles of manifestation: through desire, through faith, and through the spoken word. But here's something I find that's really fascinating. If you go study this, the law of attraction or manifestation according to scripture and the holy word, you'll notice that Christ takes it a step further and teaches people that we can't sit idle, that man has to move things in place first. So you have to make the first move. And that's one of the reasons I think why when Christ performed many of his mighty miracles, he asked his apostles, put your net over on the other side of the boat, drop your net on the other side and see what happens. They had to make the first move. They had to follow that hunch. It's another reason why when he would perform his mighty miracles, people had to engage in something. There had to be a manifestation of their faith. The woman at the well, the woman that was sick that touched the hem of his garment, these people were engaging in an act of faith. They had to make the first move. And that's a true principle. It's not just going to be given to you. Like, God's not going to just dish out miracles like candy. It's going to be done according to your will, your free will, but also to your highest will. Ask and it shall be given to you. That was the title, or ask and you shall receive was the title of our last class last week. And we went deep into that. It was a really powerful experience. Lots of people gave us great feedback after last week's class. Matthew 7:7. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. But again, you can't sit idly by. Man has to make the first move. Ask, seek, knock. I hope we have time for this last little bit. Christ also said, concerning the works of my hands, command ye me. Concerning the works of my hands, command ye me. Charisse teaches this too. I can't remember the terminology that you use though, Charisse, when you say, I command it to be so, or something like that.
Yes, because we are creators. And if you go back into the scriptures and I can find them all for you because I have studied it. Christ commands. He commands when he's healing. He commands when he is casting out. He commands when the earth was created. It is by his words where all things came to pass. So by the command. So yeah, I use the terms that I use, and this is just what works for me. I mean, by all means, you don't have to do what I do. Is that I speak to creator of all that is. It is commanded that whatever it is that I'm desiring. So those are the terms that I use. And then right afterwards, I usually show gratitude, thank you.
Yeah.
And so it changes, but I started out by saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is done, show me. But now I just feel the gratitude in my heart that it is there. Thank you for showing me. And so it is done.
Yeah.
So it's my terminology has evolved over the past few years. So there is no right or wrong way of doing it. I have my way, but this is just what I've been shown. So yeah, I do, and it works.
Yeah,
instantly.
it does.
We are powerful. We are so powerful. We have no idea.
We are. We are, because when we are in that state of being connected to the divine through the superconscious, we are connected to the divine. We have access to all that is and all that will be and all that is possible. And we should expect to be able to create and not just be acted upon by the God of the universe. I don't think God desires to raise a bunch of little puppets. I think that he wants us to have autonomy and spiritual sovereignty, and and to use our free will. The fullness of agency is upon you and me. And the infinite intelligence of God is ever ready to carry out man's smallest or greatest desires and demands or commands. I like the word command better than demand, because demand sounds more like you're having a temper tantrum. Command sounds more like you are taking authority, claiming authority over your life. It's your life. You're creating it. Every desire, uttered or unexpressed, is a command. We're often startled by having a wish suddenly fulfilled. It sometimes is shocking when it happens suddenly. Nothing stands between us and our creations or our highest will except for fear and doubt. Those are the two main obstacles that will stand between you and that which you are seeking to create in your life and align with. If you're seeking to align with your highest will and create something awesome, then what will stumble you on that path is insecurity, fear, and doubt. It is man's only enemy. Is fear of lack, fear of failure, fear of sickness, fear of loss. The feeling of insecurity in any way, shape, or form, feeling insecure in your ability to receive. Jesus Christ in Matthew 8:26 said, "Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith?" So faith is a big component to it, but fear is faith in evil instead of good. Fear is having faith in evil instead of good. So that's something definitely that we should and must be training our conscious minds to be aware of as we're working through what we're creating every day in our lives on this mortal plane. So, two things have to be in place if we want to manifest faith in the good instead of faith in the evil. We have to see clearly. We have to set our intentions and see clearly. Use our imagination as a powerful tool for manifesting. To see clearly one's good and then obliterate all mental pictures of evil or insecurity or fear or lack or whatever it is. That's all evil, right? Counted as evil. This must be done by impressing the subconscious and superconscious mind with the realization of good. We have to obliterate the evil and impress upon the mind what is good. So here's another story I could just share before we're done. We're almost to the end of this class, but a very brilliant man who had attained a great deal of success once said that he had suddenly erased all fear from his consciousness by reading a sign which hung in a room that he saw printed in the large letters. It was this statement on the sign: "Why worry? It will probably never happen." These words were stamped indelibly upon his subconscious mind, and he has now a firm conviction that only good can come into his life. Therefore, only good can manifest. That is his intention as he moves forward. That's what he seeks for. That's what he desires. So in future classes, as we start getting deeper into this, I really want to take these topics and break them down even further. I want to take you into the topics of how this works, how intuition works, how manifestation works, how using words works. I would love for maybe even Toby Lynn to come on and teach a class about the power of words and how to use them to create good things, how to come up with good questions to ask the universe instead of asking, why am I broke? Why is this happening? Why am I suffering? Learning how to ask better questions like, why am I a magnet to money? Why am I so prosperous and abundant? Why does God want to give me anything? And if you start asking those kinds of questions, God will show you why. So be careful what you ask for. We're going to start dealing with the different methods for impressing these topics and principles onto your subconscious mind and not your superconscious, because your superconscious is already there, but tapping into your superconscious and impressing these things onto the subconscious brain and giving the subconscious mind direction to where your desires and your soul's true purpose and path can flow. Your subconscious mind is a faithful servant to you. It's waiting for your conscious brain to be aware enough to give it directions. It is a faithful servant that one must be careful to give it the right orders, give it the right instructions. Be careful of the instructions that you're giving to your subconscious mind. Every thought, every word is impressed upon the mind and carried out in amazing detail. A good example of that somebody shared is when you make a recording, like if you go to a recording studio and you record your voice singing or speaking, every cough, every everything that you speak out or put out into the universe, every note, every tone, every inflection of the voice is going to be recorded. And it's the same in the God's universe. Every intention, every note, every tone, every word is recorded in the bank, the data bank of the universe. And that universe is both within you and showing up in the external world around you. So seek these words aloud. Speak these words aloud. I came up with a really good affirmation that I think is a powerful way to end this class. So these are the words that I invite each of you and every one of you to speak aloud as you seek to create something better, something good. I now choose to tear down the principality of evil in my subconscious mind, which is insecurity and fear, right? By every word I speak, I erase every untrue record, and they shall become nothing, for they came from vain imaginations. I now make my highest perfect records through Christ and in his kingdom within. Christ taught that the kingdom of God is within. So I now make my highest and perfect records through Christ and in his kingdom within. The records of health, love, perfect self-expression are mine to freely express. So that's the affirmation that I leave you with at the end of this class today. We did not get into a lot of healing, but I did have you tap into your higher self. So as you tap into your higher self and go in there multiple times a day, and I recommend that you do that, tap into that inner stillness, that inner peace. And by going within, dropping down to your base, to the base of your spine and expanding out. Yes, I'll say it again before we leave. Yes, Heidi. I don't want you guys to miss that. By dropping down into yourself, Get into that stillness, go into that peace, and have the conversations with your higher self. Is this desire of my heart in alignment with God's will for me? Is this this desire that I have in my heart in alignment with my highest will and the highest good for all that are connected to me? And as you do that, you can then be assured that what you manifest is a good creation and it will produce good fruit. In the following classes that we do on manifesting miracles and taking this to a deeper level, I really do want to help teach you how to change the conditions within by changing your words, by changing the intentions, by becoming a lot more conscious and aware. Any man who does not know the power of the word within and as it is expressed out of your lips is going to create chaos in their lives. If you're creating unconsciously and not being aware of what you're creating, you likely will create chaos. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. So we are going to go deeper into how words are powerful manifestors. I want to teach another class, hopefully in the near future, where we're going to talk about some like powerful questions that you can go deep into asking in order to bring up what's blocking you. What are your beliefs? What are your attitudes? What are the emotions coming up so that you can heal that and then not ask amiss, but ask in alignment with God's highest will for you. Okay, I'm going to repeat the affirmation one last time and then we'll let you go for the day. I now choose to tear down the principality of evil in my subconscious mind. I'm going to give you a minute. By every word I speak, I erase every untrue record. By every word I speak, I erase every untrue record, and they shall become nothing, for they came from vain imaginations, came from the conscious brain that was oblivious. I'll repeat that. For they shall become nothing, for they came from vain imaginations. I now make my highest perfect records or recordings. What you put out there is a recording, right? Everything that comes out of your mouth is a record. So I now make my highest perfect records through Christ and in his kingdom within. The records of health, love, and perfect self-expression are mine. The records of health, love, and perfect self-expression are mine to freely express. The records of health, love, and perfect self-expression are mine to freely express. Be careful what words you use. Be intentional. Make sure that you're following intuition and that you are seeking to align with the highest will that God has for you, and you won't ask amiss. Thank you for being here today. We have a couple of comments coming through. Let me just finish with that. Kathy says, good to be with you all. Today is the first day I could breathe fully in my nose. Thank you all for your healing prayers. I celebrate my 60th birthday on Sunday. Woo! And I hope to have a dance party. That's awesome. Dance parties are the best. That's great. I'm glad that you're feeling better. Thank you guys for being here. This was a wonderful experience to experience this learning and teaching. I appreciate all those who popped on and shared some of their thoughts and ideas. If you want to continue this conversation, please feel free. I'm going to start opening up the Greater Life, Greater Impact group for discussion. So after we have these classes and these lessons, if you have comments or questions or discussion or experiences that you want to share or things that you would like to share freely in that group, please, by all means, go participate in there and share. I think that it's going to benefit a lot of people to start learning and sharing and teaching. The more that we can spread truth and light out into the world, I think the more we're going to have a greater impact. There's a reason why I called that group Greater Life, Greater Impact, because the more that you learn how to create a greater life for yourself, the more you're going to have a great impact on the world around you. And we have a deep, sacred responsibility to point the world in a new direction, which is away from fear and lack and insecurity and scarcity and war, and point us in the direction of all that is good and all that is your birthright. So thank you for being here. Mwah. Take care, everybody. Have a blessed rest of your day. Talk to you soon.